clever crow. In a forest filled with tall, whispering trees lived a crow named Corvus. He wasn't the biggest bird or the fastest flyer, but all the animals knew he was the cleverest. One sunny morning, Corvus heard a soft, sad sniffle from the forest floor. He looked down and saw a little squirrel named Squeaky, huddled by an old stone wall. Corvus glided down silently, landing on a stone beside the little squirrel. "What's wrong, Squeaky?" he cawed gently. "My shiniest acorn," Squeaky whimpered, pointing a tiny paw at the wall. "My most perfect, most favorite acorn in the whole world." It rolled right down that deep, dark hole. Corvus hopped closer and peered into the darkness. He could just make out a tiny glint of the acorn far, far below. The hole was much too deep and narrow to reach. "Don't you worry," said Corvus with confidence. He found a long, thin twig and carefully tried to poke it down the hole to hook the acorn. But the twig was too weak. It bent against the stone and then, snap! It broke in two. Squeaky let out another little sob. Corvus was not a bird who gave up. He flew to the very highest branch of a giant oak tree to think. A good thinker, he believed, always needs a good view. From his high perch, he watched a line of tiny ants marching below. They were carrying big breadcrumbs back to their hill, one small piece at a time. Small things can do a big job, he thought to himself. He remembered his grandfather's story about a thirsty crow who used stones to raise the water in a pitcher. But this hole had no water. Then his sharp eyes spotted it. The gravel path near the garden was covered in hundreds of small, smooth pebbles. "That's it," Corvus cawed, his eyes lighting up. He had a plan. He swooped back down to the wall with a triumphant flap of his wings. "Squeaky, I need your help. We're going to fill this hole." Squeaky looked up, completely confused. Corvus flew to the path, picked up a smooth pebble in his beak, and flew back to the wall. It was the first of many trips. Understanding the plan now, Squeaky got to work too. He found tiny pebbles and pushed them towards the hole with his nose and paws. Plink, plonk, plink. One by one, the pebbles dropped into the hole. Corvus was getting tired, but he saw his friend's hopeful face and kept going. After a while, Squeaky peered into the hole. "I see it," he squeaked with excitement. "Corvus, it's getting higher." The pile of pebbles was lifting the acorn. "Just a few more," chirped Corvus, his voice tired but happy. He flew back with the biggest pebble he could carry for the final push. With one last, satisfying plonk, the shiny acorn rose to the very top of the hole, resting on the mountain of pebbles they had built. Very gently, Corvus reached his beak into the hole and plucked out the shiny acorn. He polished it on his wing until it gleamed and presented it to Squeaky. Squeaky hugged his precious acorn tight. "Oh, thank you, Corvus. You really are the cleverest crow in the whole world." And Corvus puffed out his chest, knowing that the best tool you can ever have is a clever mind.